You love them. You know you do. But somewhere between the morning routine and the goodnight kiss, you stopped recognizing yourself. The exhaustion isn't in your muscles. It lives deeper than that. Something inside you is always running. This is the woman who shows up, who remembers, anticipates, adjusts. This is the mind trained to read emotional weather before the storm arrives. She is not resentful, not ungrateful, but she is tired in a way sleep does not fix. And when she says this aloud, people assume she doesn't love enough. They misread depletion as distance. Psychologists call it emotional labor, the invisible work of managing other people's feelings while regulating your own. It begins early. Girls praised for being helpful, attuned, considerate. The nervous system learns that safety comes from anticipating needs. Your brain builds pathways around caregiving as identity. Over years, this becomes automatic. You notice the unspoken tension at dinner. You smooth it before anyone else feels it. You track everyone's emotional state like a background process that never closes. You absorb their moods to stabilize your own. Neuroscience shows this vigilance has a metabolic cost. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning, decision-making, self-control, remains constantly activated. There is no recovery window. And because the work is invisible, it often goes unacknowledged. You are exhausted by labor no one sees. Here is what happens in the brain. When you repeatedly suppress your own needs to meet someone else's, you create a neural pattern. The brain interprets self-sacrifice as safety. It rewards you with small hits of oxytocin and dopamine when you are needed. This feels like love, and it is, but it is also conditioning. Over time, your emotional regulation becomes externalized. You feel stable when they feel stable. You feel purposeful when they need you. The cost is that you lose access to your own internal signals. Hunger, fatigue, frustration, these become background noise. You stop asking what you want because the question itself feels selfish. Research on female socialization shows this is not accidental. Girls are trained to prioritize relational harmony over self-expression. The brain receives decades of reinforcement for this behavior. The neural wiring adapts accordingly, and the result is a woman who can meet 1,000 needs in a day, but cannot name one of her own. She is not weak. She is overextended, and her body has been keeping score the entire time. This exhaustion is not a moral failure. It is a byproduct of invisible architecture you did not design. The risk is mistaking depletion for inadequacy. Awareness does not erase the pattern, but it interrupts it. You can love them deeply and still need space to exist outside of their needs. That is not contradiction. That is survival. If this felt uncomfortably accurate, the next video may explain why recognizing this changes everything.